Hello, everyone. So today we'll be looking at some frequently asked questions in relation to some benefit like child benefit, child tax credit, and universal credit. But the questions will be centered primarily around universal credit. I hope you find it useful. So let's kick off. Number one question: my child is age under 18 at college doing NVQ level 1. They're also thinking of starting work during school holidays and term time. Will this affect the benefit that I get for them? So the answer is no. If your child is at approved education or training of more than 12 hours per week, any work they do either during school term or during holidays will not affect the benefit that you get for them. And this is regardless of how many hours they do or how much they earn. So they can earn as much as they can and work as many hours as they can, and this will not actually affect your benefit. So your benefit, whether that be child benefit, child tax credit, or universal credit, will not be affected. The next question is: I'm currently in the pursuit of universal credit, but I've just started getting child maintenance and spousal maintenance. Will this affect my universal credit? So the answer is yes. So although child maintenance payment is completely disregarded for universal credit. So universal credit will not take payments made towards child maintenance into account. And what is child maintenance? This will be a financial contribution made by the other parent towards the upkeep of your child. So universal credit will completely ignore this payment. However, the spousal maintenance, which is for you, universal credit will take it into account. So it could lead to your benefit being reduced, or it could wipe off your benefit completely, though this will depend on the size of the spousal maintenance. Let's move on. The next question is: I own two properties. I live in one of the properties, but the other property that I do not live in, I'm looking to sell it. I will be putting it on the market for sale. I'm about to make a claim for universal credit. Will this impact on my ability to get universal credit? So the answer is yes or no, because really, in terms of getting universal credit, it does depend on a lot of things. It depends on your financial circumstances. This could be your earning, so your employed earning and self employed earning. They also do take savings that is above £6,000 into account. So it does depend. However, in terms of the questions, so when it comes to the home that you live in, the value, the actual value of that home, or if you like, the equity in that home is completely ignored. So it will not affect your universal credit. Universal credit will not take it into account. However, the value of that other home that you do not live in will be taken into account. But in this case, if this property is going to be going on the market for sale or is on the market for sale, universal credit would ignore its value, and this is regardless or however long it's on the market for sale, whether that be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, it will be ignored. You will, however, be required to provide evidence that this property is on the market for sale. Other than that, yes, it will be completely ignored. The next question: I'm a single parent. I'm looking to return back to full time studies. I'm looking to do a degree course and will be relying on student finance England to fund my course. Will this affect my universal credit? So the answer is yes. So basically, your maintenance loan, the bit that is for your living costs, will be taken into account. If there's any applicable grant like special support element or parents learning allowance or childcare grant, those will be ignored. So it will not be taken into account. But your maintenance loan is taken into account. Now, for postgraduate levels or master's level, universal credit will take only 30% of your loan. This is the maintenance loan will be, I mean, your living cost, the 30% of your maintenance loan that is for your living cost is taken into account. So the 70% of it will be ignored. Now, it's always good to get a calculation done. So if you're thinking of going into full-time studies and you're in receipt of universal credit, maybe it's best to get a calculation done. Contact your local advice centers for calculation. They'll be able to do a calculation for you, like Citizen Advice Bureau, to be able to show you how it will impact on your universal credit. And that will enable you to actually make a decision on how best to go about it. The next question is, I've just received a letter from DWP to transfer to Universal Credit, and I'm worried that I will get less. Now, the good news is there's something called transitional element. So, if you've been asked to migrate, which is called claiming universal credit under migration process. So, if you've received an invite to make a claim for universal credit, there's nothing to be worried about and such. So, because if you end up getting less payment under universal credit, there is this transitional element would actually top up your income to ensure that you're not worse off. So there's nothing to worry about, because transitional protection payment is there to ensure that you're not worse off. However, if you made a claim through what they call natural migration, what is natural migration? This would be a situation where you've actually made a claim yourself. So you went ahead to submit a claim, either because there's been a change of circumstances or something happened that triggered you to make a claim, or because you believe that you probably be better off or you get more on universal credit, and then you went ahead to submit a claim. If you do that, there will be no transitional protection if it turns out that you're worse off. So if you make a claim for universal, say for example, change of circumstances, you had a joint claim, relationship broke down, and you had to make a single claim because your joint claim has come to an end, and you made a universal credit claim because that changes had actually triggered a claim for universal credit. So when you do make that claim, um, and you end up being worse off, there will be no transitional protection and you wouldn't be able to revert back. Now, the final question here is, I own my own home and I live in my own home, and I'm thinking of letting out a room in my own home. Would the rental income from that home be taken into account, and will it affect my universal credit? So the answer is no. Your rental income from a room that you let out in your home will not affect your universal credit. However, you may need to check with your lender, check your mortgage agreement to show that you will not be in breach of this agreement. If you do, however, own your home outright, then there's no need to check because you own it outright. There might be other implication like tax. You may need to pay tax, so check that. And then if you have home contents insurance, that might be, that could affect it. If you do need further advice on any of these questions and answers today, you can contact maybe your local advice centers like Citizen Advice Bureau, Turn Towards, Money Helper to seek further advice. I hope this information has been helpful. Thank you and bye.